All right, let's do some connections problems. So these connection problems are dealing with equations of lines. It says, what is the slope of the line given? Now remember, we were using in this lesson equations for lines that look like this, y equals mx plus b. This number multiplied by the x is always your slope. Before you decide that, however, you want it to be in this form, meaning y needs to be all alone and everything else on the other side, just in case. So notice this equation is not in the proper form because y has 2 added to it. It's not all alone. So the first thing we would do is subtract 2 so that y is alone. Whatever you do on one side of the equation, you have to do on the other. And so now that gives me the equation y equals 5x minus 2. Again, the slope of the equation when it's in this form is the number multiplied by your x. So I can automatically tell the slope of this line would be 5. Okay, what is the x-intercept of the line y equals negative 3x plus 1? Again, we're working with a basic equation that looks like this. Y is by itself equals something times x plus something on the end. In this form, this is our slope. That's what we found on our previous question. This number is the y-intercept. However, they asked for the x-intercept. So you might say, well, how in the heck do I find that? It's not written in the equation. The way you find an x-intercept, think about it. X-intercept is on a graph, if this were my line. It's the point where it crosses the x-axis. So it's a point where you have an x value and then your y value is 0 because you're on the x-axis. You haven't gone up or down. So the way we find x-intercepts is you replace y with 0 because on the x-axis, y is 0. So you write down your equation exactly the way it was, replace the y with a 0, and then you solve. So solve for x. So I would have to subtract 1 from both sides. And then negative 3 times x, I do the opposite of that and divide both sides by negative 3. And I get that x is 1/3. So the x-intercept is at 1/3, or the point 1/3, 0. Kind of a tricky question.